What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another strategy video here on Gaming After Hours. Today we are going to cover some Pokemon builds to solo the 5-star Slitherwing and Iron Moth Tera raid event going on now through September 24th, 2023 in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Before we jump in, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below letting us know your favorite builds for these raids, and without further ado, let's get started. Now, this raid event is somewhat unique in that the Pokemon that appear in it, Slitherwing and Iron Moth, are going to appear predominantly with one Tera type. In this case, Slitherwing's is Fire, though you can find this raid event with Slitherwing having a different Tera type, though most of them will be the Fire Tera type. Also, the Tera shards that you receive upon beating the battle will reflect the Tera type of the Pokemon against which you battle. In this case, we see Fire Tera shards are the reward for defeating this Slitherwing in particular. The rest of the raid rewards include the usual fare. We have leveling items, EV boosting items, nature changing items, the ability capsule, and so on and so forth. These Slitherwings are physical attackers, and as we can see, it has superpower and first impression to play off of its normal stabs. It also has a powerful option of Flare Blitz to play off of its Fire Tera type, as well as Heavy Slam, a steel type move for coverage. Also, this Slitherwing will set up Sunny Day upon entering the battle to proc its Photosynthesis, and it can also paralyze you using Stun Spore. Ideally, we would like a Pokemon that resists all of these attacks and is immune to Stun Spore, but I couldn't think of one. However, I did think of a Pokemon that most of you probably already have built and that does resist most of this guy's attacks. Yup, you guessed it. The Pokemon we will be using against the Tera Fire-type Slitherwings is Azumarill, because not only is it a strong Water-type attacker, but its dual typing with Fairy makes it resist most of the Slitherwings' attacks. We do want to use a Tera type of Water so that we can maximize the water damage that we do to the Tera Fire-type Slitherwing. And the move of choice we are going to use to attack is Liquidation. Liquidation is a relatively powerful physical type water attack, and it also can lower the target's defensive stat, which will just allow us to do more damage if we get that. Rain Dance is the second move we're going to use, and this is because the Slitherwing will put up Sunny Day upon starting the battle to proc his Photosynthesis, and if we use Rain Dance on the first turn, his Photosynthesis buff will go away, and also we can further increase the water type damage we do because of this. Aqua Ring might or might not be used. It's basically just a move to add in some passive recovery. And of course, Belly Drum is the move that makes all of this possible because it allows us to maximize our attack in one turn. Now, I went with an Adamant Minted nature so that we can maximize our attack. And I dumped all of my EVs into attack and HP to, again, maximize my power and maximize survivability in most cases. Huge Power is the ability we're going to go with because, again, this is what allows Azumarill to do what he does. And finally, I threw a Shell Bell on him because he doesn't have any immediate recovery like other Belly Drummers do with Drain Punch. So I put the Shell Bell on instead of a Citrus Berry, since most of the Slitherwing's attacks aren't going to be doing much damage. Azumarill is pretty bulky as it is, and because, again, the Shell Bell will allow us to recover damage with each attack we do that does damage. Okay, so here we are at the raid den. We are going in alone. Let's go ahead and see what type of partners we get. This should be a quick fight because Azumarill is really powerful and because this guy doesn't have the highest physical defense. Okay, looks like we got a couple of partners that are indeed weak to fire. Let's see how this goes. There's that Sunny Day I was talking about. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and use Rain Dance. Rain Dance is obviously going to flip the weather and give us a buff to our water type attacks. Photosynthesis is gone now. We're going to go for the Belly Drum. It looks like our partners are actually doing some pretty decent damage. Good thing we didn't get hit by that Stun Spore. It is possible to get paralyzed in this battle. Now, we have been attacked by a few attacks. We see our HP is kind of low, but we are able to get off that one Liquidation. That is enough to defeat the Slitherwing, and you saw that we were able to recover HP with our Shell Bell. We're going to go ahead and catch this guy just to check him out. I like to catch him in a Premier Ball. You know, you always want to match the Pokeball to the Pokemon that you catch. And let's go ahead and look at the rewards we got. Okay, standard stuff. We did get the ability capsule. That's nice. And that's it for Slitherwing. Let's take a look at Iron Moth. So the predominant Tera type for the Iron Moth raids is going to be Grass, and we see that we will receive Grass type Tera shards because of that. And this guy is a special attacker, so we see he has Overheat, Sludge Wave, and Acid Spray, which all play off of his regular stabs. He also has Energy Ball because of his Tera type. Electric Terrain is there to proc his Quark Drive, and then finally he has Screech to lower our defense. So this guy is going to try to debuff us. Now, we were lucky enough with the Iron Moth raid to be able to find a Pokemon that does indeed resist all of those attacks, and we have chosen Ceruledge because the dual typing in Fire and Ghost resists all of those attacks. Fire resists the Grass and Fire type attacks, and then Ghost actually resists Poison type attacks. Our move of choice for this raid is going to be Bitter Blade because it is a decently powerful physical fire type attack that restores the user's HP upon using it. And the only other attack we're going to use for this raid is Swords Dance, which of course gives us a twice attack buff to our Pokemon when we use it. We went ahead with an Adamant Minted Nature to maximize attack, and we dumped all of our EVs into attack and HP to maximize our damage output and survivability respectively. The ability we went with is Flash Fire because if Iron Moth does indeed use Overheat, we will not only absorb that attack, but we will get a stat buff because of it. And finally, we went with the Shell Bell just to further increase the amount of HP we restore with each attack, though you could go for a damage increasing item here too, something like Expert Belt, which will increase the attack from super effective hits. Now, unfortunately, I am playing Pokemon Scarlet, so I wasn't able to capture footage of the Iron Moth raid solo, but I assure you that this build will be able to successfully complete this raid. As we can see, Iron Moth opens with Electric Terrain to proc his Quark Drive, and we are going to open with a Swords Dance to boost our attack. We are going to continue by using Bitter Blade, and as we can see, that does a decent amount of damage. Iron Moth now will put up his shield, and unfortunately my partners are not doing so hot. It looks like Iron Hands did indeed get knocked out. However, we are just going to continue to use Bitter Blade until we can take this guy out. Hopefully we'll be able to get off the Terastallization, but I'm not sure we'll actually need it since we are getting close to the end. And I'm going to go for the Terastallization anyway, just to make sure that we get as much damage as we can, and it looks like the Skeledirge got his Terastallization off before I did, and we were able to successfully fell this guy. All that's left to do is catch him in a Premier Ball like the first one, and we will go ahead and take a look at the rewards here in just a second. Ability Capsule, nice. Alright, and that's it. So what do you guys think? Were you able to defeat and capture Slitherwing and Iron Moth solo? And which Pokemon did you use? Tell us down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time here on Gaming After Hours.